there, good morning. How na day? I hope you are just being you wherever you are. Thank you. So let's talk about this very topic that I found. This is about the things that causes failure or that causes marriage to fail. So let's watch this very video of this couple being wedded and what the Reverend Father told them. Let's watch together.
Marriage. Unforgiveness kills marriage. Arguments kills marriage. Keeping secret from your spouse kills marriage. Every form of infidelity kills marriage. Poor communication kills marriage. Lies easily kills marriage. Relating more with your parents than your spouse kills marriage. Lack of inadequate or unenjoyable sex kills marriage. Nagging kills marriage. And finally, too much talk and careless talk kills.
Exactly. In marriage, there are a lot of things that most of us consider we do not consider or we do not even put in our mind that might actually cause problem in our marriage. So everybody wants to get married, but most of us doesn't even have the idea or the knowledge that there are certain things that we might do in that marriage that can cause our marriages. So in most cases, you feel like people are feeling like, the only thing that can cause failure in the marriage is when partner is cheating partner, and domestic violence. In fact, there are so many things that you say people they do for marriage. You say, say that in your character. This character now you get them now your own character. You do not know that character, when it matches with another person's character, which means, I have this very character that is my character, I've been living well with it. When I get married to somebody else, in that marriage, that character when me I get, go begin the detest, or that person go begin to find that character annoying. In most cases, when people are in a relationship, you understand, you are being drowned with the feelings, with those illusions, those things that you feel like, it's okay with that person. Certain things about how the person talks, how the person eats, how the person sleeps, how the person's dresses. When you are in that illusion, you don't find it as anything. Those things fancies you. Those things, you feel good about it. But at some point when you get married with that illusion, at some point when you get married, there's a moment when it becomes a disillusion. When it becomes, you get to, it's like something just put off your eyes, like you start recognizing that this thing about this person, I don't really like this thing about this person. I don't know why. How did I even get here? How come I got here? Like, how did I get here? You start understanding that, man, did I really make a right choice? It becomes as if somebody just woke you up from sleep. And by that time, that is when maybe all the attention you were getting from the relationship, all the love you, I love you, all those things you were getting in the time of relationship, of course, in the marriage, is no longer there, or it's no longer as solid as it used to be when you were dating. And then all of a sudden, you find out that, this thing that makes you feel you were dreaming is no longer there. And then the next thing is that your eyes will open. Do you understand? Now, breaking it down on what this Reverend Father talked about, things that causes failure in marriage. Then there's this very book. I'm going to show you guys this book. All right? This book, most of you who got married in Nigeria, probably you got it, is from David Wodo. And this book is Marriage Types and Implications, a legal and moral guide. If you wedded or if you did your court marriage in Port Harcourt, probably you might have got this. I did mine in 2012, so I got this in the court. Now, unfortunately, now you get this thing say you don't care about it. You think, what is book? Book cannot guide you. You actually can handle your marriage by your own self, and all those things. Honestly, the gospel truth is that if you're newly married, it's important for you to register into marriage counseling. Now, not just the type of marriage counseling you do in church. In fact, as you go to school, like you going to school or anything. Marriage is something marriage is like a school, and marriage shouldn't be that when you get married you decide that everything is okay. I think that the best thing is when you get married, register yourself into a counseling, have a counseling coach, have anybody you talk to, you guys talk to, a professional that you both of you talk to, not your friend, not your parents, not people in the church, but a professional who focuses on people's marriage. So it's important that once in a month you both go there for counseling, for coaching, in order to keep this relationship new, because marriage fades no matter how you want to pretend about it, unless those ones that have decided, you know what, we die inside. But if they can tell themselves the truth, they will be able to say that it is not the way it started in the beginning that it is right now, but they have decided to be in it and work it out, and of course, you understand? So I got this very book. The truth is that most times it's important to read these books, because there are things that they didn't just write it because they want to sell you a book. All right. Now there is something I read in this book. Now it is since I got divorced, that since my divorce started, that I actually picked up this book to read. Sorry to say this. It is when I got divorced that I actually picked up this book to read. Now there is something I saw in this very book. They talked also about reasons for fading marriages, reasons for fading love in marriages. Now they talked about incompatibility. Of course, you know it. We talked about it in the other video about being compatible. Please pardon me. I'm really typewriting this my video. I'm so much in a haste because I have an appointment in the next 15-30 minutes. Okay, so we talked about incompatibility because most of us ignore compatibility in marriage. We feel like marriage, everything is going to be compatible so far as marriage don't get involved. Then we ignore compatibility in our marriages. So it's important to be able to identify if you and this person is compatible. Do not try to manage things hoping that it will change or it will become compatible. There is never a way you will have left shoe and left shoe, and then you say when you walk out small, you wear two left shoes, and you wear left shoe here, you wear left shoe. Oh no, let's assume you wear left shoe in the right side, you wear right shoe in the left side, and you think by the time you waka, that shoe go turn and become you go automatically change to left and right, or right to the appropriate shoes. No, you must remove it and put it in the right place. That is how it is in marriage. Get to be sure that before you take that walk, you put your shoes in the right foot. And then another thing they mentioned here is conflict. Of course, the major things that most of us face in marriage that before we know it will link to something else. There are obviously you see people saying, yeah, everybody have problem in their marriages. No marriage is perfect. Of course, yes. I always say that there are marriages that are perfect. Now, take for instance when you saw the other time, for example, the last video we posted about Worry Pikin. She talked about how she went to ask her husband to forgive her in his office. Okay, now she went to ask for forgiveness, and what happened if that man didn't want to forgive her? What happened if the man cares not about forgiving her? And what happens if she decided that after all, I am right, I must not ask for forgiveness, and before you know it, the man starts feeling differently, or she goes there to ask for forgiveness, the man didn't forgive her, she will start feeling differently. Before you know it, they start this small issue that would have been ended. Look at how it just ended. She just went there, said I'm sorry, they hugged each other. Simple way it ended. But there are some issues in marriage that in fact it's only good money that would have ended it. It's only a touch on the shoulder that would have ended it. But because of conflict, because we do not ego and all that, we allow it to become a very serious conflict in our marriage, and before you know it would generate to something that would cause divorce in marriage. And now there is something I read in this very book recently, and I cried. Now I'm going to read this very part of this in this book. If you know this book, please let me know if you're a brother court or any of you that have this kind of book. It's being given to couples at the court when you do your court wedding. Now, this is a part 12 of this very book, which states on how marriages can be saved. So I'm going to jump through it, and then to this place it says commitment. I'm going to jump through that commitment and say here. from this second paragraph. It says, for this reason, staying together in a loveless marriage does not demonstrate a sense of commitment to marriage. Your goal should be to make your marriage enjoyable and not endurable. Commitment should reflect loyalty not only to marriage institution, which you vowed to belong, but also to the person whom you have vowed to love and cherish until death do you part. How deep your commitment is also to be revealed by what you say to your partner. Now, listen to these very parts. It says, for example, in the heat of an argument, some husbands and wives may make rash statements like, I am leaving you, I am going to find someone who will appreciate me better. Even though these comments may be empty threats, they can undermine a partner's commitment. The implication is that it's not committed to the sustainability couples of the relationship, which breeds distrust amongst couples. To restore love in your marriage, you are to avoid as much as possible such threatening statements in your conversations or during an argument. After all, no one will be ready to decorate an apartment or a house to his taste if he knows that any day he will be moving out of it. All your effort in keeping your marriage should be an earnest determination towards a solution, no matter what the disagreement or problem is. Now, I hope you guys understand this part and what I'm trying to read here. Probably pardon my English, how I'm reading or something. When I saw this part of this very book, I wept. If you have listened to some of my videos, which I'm going to bring to you guys here, if you have listened to some of my videos, you will hear when I have always consistently talked about how I always face, I no go continue, this marriage no go work out, there are so many women out there, there are so many people out there, even my ex-partner using his girlfriends to make an example and to tell me that some of these women are willing to do anything he wants just to be with them. Now, I have begged him, several times I have begged him, I said, please stop threatening me with divorce. Now, at some point, it became obvious that really, truly, there is something going on in this man's head. That was even when I had my second child, the drama from the hospital, all that played out during that period started clicking in my head. I was at some point thinking, even at some point he was consistent on be pregnant again. I was thinking in my head, are you not sure that this man is looking for a man looking for someone who would just have children for him and then push her away? Now, this became a fear that stuck in my head for years. Now, to the honest truth, I started noticing things. Even the time he threatens, says he will not go on, he will not continue, even the times he even asks, even though he claimed that it was not real, he didn't mean it, but asking me to sign a divorce paper to me was something to watch out for. And before that period of asking me to sign for divorce papers, there were moments, instances from the period I came here, all examples, all statements of not continue, I will leave this marriage, you will leave this marriage. It was consistent. Even to certain extents, when I discuss with my partner and say, I'm planning we do this, I'm planning we do that, I want us to do this, and then he will always say, I wish you well. Even if tomorrow you leave me, you decide to move, I wish you well, and all that. And then I'm like, why will I leave you? He said, yes, now most of you, when they bring you people to Europe, you will leave the man. I was like, why being negative in the marriage? There are so many signs that it is not what he wanted. Probably he didn't want to be tied in an institution called marriage. Now, those things were a problem to me. At some point, even in most times when things happen, I still let go, I still accepted and still continued. When it became so serious in 2019, it was so consistent that at some point I decided to let me just leave this man and let him decide what and how he wants this marriage. To be honest, it happened in 2019 when I decided to just leave this marriage in his care. And I said to him, you know what, this marriage, I leave it in your hand. Anyhow you want it, fine. You want it to work out, fine. If you don't want it to work out, the same way, I am open for anything that will come out of it. And when I said that in 2019, here are we. I left him in his marriage that he wanted the way he wanted it, and this is what happened. We ended up not being married again. So you see, in marriage, you as a woman, you as a man, there are things you actually should be very careful about. Some of you knows how to talk so carelessly, know how to be very careless with your words. The truth is that if you understand, there are some people who doesn't like, as you see me, I don't like negativity. Do not use negativity around me. I don't talk to people anyhow carelessly. I was not raised that way. I don't know how to talk to people carelessly. I don't know how to quarrel. If quarrel come to quarrel, I will walk away. I don't know how to quarrel. But some of you knows how to, you go quarrel. When you don't quarrel, you know go know, say that person when they say those things to. Maybe in your own mind, it is normal. You grew up like that by quarreling, cussing and all that. The other person didn't grow up like that. So when you say certain things to them, it will hurt them because they don't grow up like that. That is why it's important to get to know people, discuss. If you're getting married to somebody who is an adult, discuss, get to know this very person very, very well. Know what their turn-offs are, know what they don't like, know exactly, let them even tell you what they don't like. It is important. So most of the statements that my partner was making in our marriage those days stuck in my head, and I became very scared, and I felt like, oh, I have to be careful. Let this man not go make I born children full everywhere, then he will abandon me with the children. And of course, I have just 2. And this marriage ended exactly what I was thinking, because when we are together in the marriage, sometimes you will hear something like, I go leave you and these children, I go leave you and these children. And then I will tell him, no, you will not leave me and the children. You said your ex-wife left you and took your child. I said, no, even if you want to leave the marriage, you will not leave the children. You will be in their life. You will be in their father. We will raise them together, 50-50, anything, we have to raise them together. But when he normally makes those statements, and I will say that you will not leave these children, I was saying if marriage doesn't work, you have to be in their lives. But I never knew that is exactly who he is. So when I was looking at all these things, I decided to be very careful, not go begin the bunch children from anywhere. When you be saying you never know the person when you are on date, whether him really wanted the same thing when you want. I remember also certain times when, I told him, I said, for now, I don't want to have any other child until you're ready to be a father, until you're ready to run a family, until you're ready to involve yourself and know what family is about. I think it's time for you to know what I told him that. Because I don't want to mess up having plenty of children, and at the end of the day, a man leaves you and walk out because he tells you there are so many women, there are so many Benin women where they find man self. I'm sorry if you're a Benin woman, I'm sorry, but that's the statement. There are so many women where they find man, we go marry them, we hold their money, we go give man money to do business. There are so many of them we give, so many. You keep hearing this every time, my sister. How will you feel? How? So those are the kind of things that causes problem in marriage. Even if you are a man, your woman always tells you how another guy used to be better than you, another man used to give you more money, another man used to, give it to her the best way, she have the bigger cucumber, does it better, you don't even know how to do it, used to tell you all those things. There are so many men, you never date man or when they don't know how to, or, gives you all those kind of instances. You will start thinking otherwise. You see that you start thinking that your wife is cheating on you, or you start thinking that maybe this woman will leave you one day to go and marry, to go and be with those people that gives him or gives her all that. You start thinking otherwise. That is it. So this video, I posted it and decided to repost it so I can put in one-on-one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure that wherever you are just being you. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Kills marriage. Unforgiveness kills marriage. Arguments kills marriage. Keeping secret from your spouse kills marriage. Every form of infidelity kills marriage. Poor communication kills marriage. Lies easily kills marriage. Relating more with your parents than your spouse kills marriage. Lack of inadequate or unenjoyable sex kills marriage. Nagging kills marriage. And finally, too much talk and careless talk kills